Welcome to the current podcast. Thank you all for joining us on another episode of Sports Wave.
Yes,
This is your producer Byron with Mauricio in the building.
What's
we
good?
got Enzo in the building.
Que bajo, sorry.
And we got Manny in the building.
Hey, how's it going?
How you guys doing tonight?
We're doing good. How are you doing?
How was your guys' weekend?
Our weekend's been
Man,
fine,
to be
dude.
honest, bro, you want me to really tell you how my weekend was?
Yeah, quick. Yeah.
Nah, he doesn't, bro.
It was cool, but fucking fight, bro.
We'll get to that. Man.
No, for sure we'll get to that. Man, let's fucking fight, bro.
Oh.
Hey, bro, it would have been crazy how much if we would have put that bet.
Bro, I'm glad
Lost
I
that
didn't.
money?
Right, we would have
Glad I
lost
didn't.
money on
Because
Saturday.
if we go to Miami, Masvidal ain't buying a shit.
Huh, he ain't buying us no lunch.
Hey, bro, but the dinner he promised them is still not gonna repay $275K.
I mean, let's just go there since we're just talking about it at this point, man. We're talking about UFC 272 for sure.
You just want to go there already?
Yeah, man.
Oh, we started with it.
Masvidal was
Flat-footed like that.
Disappointment.
he was the underdog right there, so that's why we can say I think that Connor.
I think
Drake tried to put that bet out there.
I think Masvidal
$275K.
needs to take another hiatus and get his ground game up.
I mean, styles
But
make fights
he's-
in these things, and
yeah,
I think
but
I
damn, he
think
didn't even he, like Manny was saying in the beginning of the fight, he wasn't swinging his.
Nah, he wasn't showing volume at all, man.
You got to look back to the
And it's
Connor
funny
fight,
because
bro. When
right
you're
when he
fighting a
said volume
wrestler,
is when he dropped him.
when you're fighting a wrestler, and
the
especially
fourth
one like
round.
Covington that's gonna be willing to throw some hands with you, you have to be expecting that takedown to come through. So I again, that's why I compared it to Conor and the Khabib fight, because Conor came out there very, very defensive heavy, waiting for that shot to come in. When he fought Askren, he knew
Masvidal had defense. He did defend him pretty well throughout the
when he had Askren, he expected Askren to come immediately for the takedown. That's what happened. That's why we have that result. With this,
he did try to throw a knee in the beginning, if you noticed.
yeah,
it.
and it
was a weak knee, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's to establish that distance and to, it's kind of his signature of starting fights right now. He even did that with Nate Diaz.
He was kicking a lot too to start, but
Yeah, and
he
it was
hurt his
effective.
leg,
It was
yeah.
very effective.
he
I
had
don't
him
know why he went away
switching.
from
He
that.
had him switching stances in the first 3 rounds.
He didn't take advantage of that either.
He went away from it, and I think that was something that cost him the fight.
I think he went away from it because he didn't want to leave the legs open for a shot, for the takedown. So
I mean, but yeah, Kobe's knee was already giving out too, and he wasn't noticing that. Like, his knee was starting to buckle. He couldn't plant as well. That's another reason why he was going for the shoot as well, because
he started early because I think Kobe's initial plan was to stand and bang with him.
Yeah.
But
once he felt those
kicking,
kicks, and then once he felt his knee giving out,
but to me,
you can tell he started shooting, bro.
I really do feel bad for Masvidal because I feel like this dude was like, he just didn't feel. He looked focused going into the fight, but then after he got punched a few times by Kobe, he was like, it was almost like he didn't know what was going. Not that he didn't know what was going on. I almost feel like he didn't expect his hands to be that better.
That improved from the last time that they've met each other.
For sure in the ring,
Yeah.
and then the thing that I think about,
especially because you gotta remember that this guy just banged with Usman.
That
and
too,
lasted.
That too,
Pause.
but remember when you're training, you're not punt and you have a training partner. You're not.
Yeah, you're not trying to kill them.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you're not also trying to hurt your hand.
It's like the Sidugan in Francis when they were saying like Sidugan could take him out, but it's like had Sidugan really felt the power of Ngannou?
They be holding him back and stuff. So it's interesting, but I don't. Honestly, another surprise in that fight was the Greg Hardy fight. Is it Greg Hardy? What's his name?
Greg Hardy versus Sergey.
Yeah, Sergey.
bro. Like Greg
that
Hardy
wasn't a surprise to me. I
thought
Sergey.
Greg Hardy was gonna wake up this fight and do something, but his jab, he needs to get a better jab.
Bro, he needs to
work on
He needs to
his game in
defend his
general.
ground game,
Oh, and his
bro.
ground game, yeah, but that shit was.
Cause that's how Sergey took him out.
That ground and pound is just something else. Cause
He just literally put his hands up and he was like, "That's it. I'm out. I'm done."
we're definitely really seeing the revolution or the evolution of mixed martial arts because.
But here's one guy
even
that
Bryce Mitchell was amazing to watch.
Nah, before we get to that though, the guy that you were rooting for, Holland, and I wasn't rooting for him because I had seen him come off so many losses.
Well, no, in 2020 he had 5 straight, and in 2021 he had a couple of losses. Like
exactly,
3 or 2 losses. Or something
exactly.
Like
but then it's like when you see that, and because he's a big talker, and you expect him to back up that trash talk, you're like, okay, is he gonna actually win this time or is he not? I was rooting against him. You were rooting for him,
right?
I was also rooting for him.
So and I mean, he impressed. I mean, that first round was a little weird. He came out very like unbalanced. The stuff he was doing, I was kind of like, what thrown off by what he was trying to do. But that second round, you can tell that he already kind of had figured out how to take the guy out.
Yeah, and I think that what it is for fighters like...
And also his ground game went up a little bit. I don't know if you guys noticed that as well.
I won't see too much.
A little bit. I didn't say like it was amazing. I said a little bit.
His defense definitely got better, but I don't know. I think he went down in weight, right, Mauricio? You said.
Yeah, this is his first fight at 170.
So I feel like he didn't estimate the speed of the hands to be that much faster because they're a little bit faster than where he was at,
and that's why I feel like he came out a lot more not hesitant, but
just
like
feeling
it out in the first round.
He was way more reserved in the first round,
and I think you guys got to do that when you're fighting at a lower weight class and you're fighting someone that's gonna. The last couple fighters that he fought were very wrestling, grappling heavy. So when it comes to Vettori and Derek Brunson, you know, these guys are going to want to take him down and put him on his back and all that stuff.
And that's what Brunson did, just put his weight on him the entire time.
That's the big difference. That's why I said earlier, even with Masvidal and Covington, styles make fights right here. And these type of styles, that's why we get bored of things like this, because we're just seeing them hold them down against either against the fence or just against the mat, and either ground and pound like Kobe was trying to do and was doing. Or just Brunson just laying heavy on him and whatnot. So that's why I think
there's still skill behind that, but it's just not as entertaining.
Yeah, and it doesn't favor someone like a Kevin Holland. Like you could have good wrestling defense, but if they're still able to take you down, they're gonna keep you there. That's gonna kind of be the. That's why Covington was the favorite in this fight. That's why everybody was also in a sense doubting Holland too, because he's coming off of so many of these losses. But again, look at who he's fighting. He's fighting against someone like Cowboy Rivera, that he's like that. He's willing to have these battles with people, and that's what we saw. You know, even though he brought out the jiu-jitsu and almost had him in a choke at the end of that, I think the first round.
Yeah. And he does the meme that became popular, the thumbs up, like, I'm okay.
Yeah, so that's
well, I mean, that's because he got flipped and then he saw the time. So
yeah, and I think that it's all just
he can't put himself in compromising positions anymore because he might get choked out.
When it comes to even like Masvidal, I think it all depends on who he fights next, and Kevin Holland too. Then the person he called out was he called out Cowboy Cerrone this time. He said I'll fight the other one.
Right.
And it's a smart person to call out.
There was somebody else that called out Masvidal this week that fought. Was it RDA? I think RDA called out Masvidal.
Oh yeah, for the BMF title.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think with Holland, he had a good fight this outing, and I think he's improving on his things. Who I see very interestingly working on his wrestling right now is Darren Till, who he's teamed up with Khamzat Chimaev. They're at the fight this weekend together as well. So I'm very interested to see how these two fighters come out in their next fight.
Yeah, they're becoming really good friends. You see them working out, training together.
I just hope it doesn't turn out to be like the George and Covington thing where they end up having beef,
bad blood.
You know,
well, it would sell. I will tell you that.
But yeah, I'm just hoping that Darren Till's taking in that wrestling aspect.
That'd be a weird ass little rivalry to have though, because like they're already the Hammer's already kind of becoming established, and Darren Till's been in the game. But it's like
they're helping each other out. They have but Styles even make these training sessions, you know.
Right, because he's working on his ground game and Darren Till's giving him the stand up, you know. So it's for sure like a give and take, but
because that's also been
it'd be weird definitely to see him go
if they get black blood. I don't think Khamzat would do that though. He doesn't seem like that guy that would want to have black blood with someone.
You never know.
At least from what I've seen in his IG and the way he conduces himself. He doesn't seem like the type of guy who would just want to have bad blood just to have bad blood. It's like you got to do something, you know. But he's not the one that's gonna be like trying to do that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Gilbert Burns? How do you guys feel about Covington calling out Dustin Poirier and talking about his family like that?
Well, that's what he does. Like I was kind of telling you guys on Saturday, he's taking the persona approach of of a Conor. And his style of fighting is more like
even Usman,
GSP type of thing.
Usman in the podcast,
I wouldn't even give him so much to Conor because Conor even took that kind of from wrestling, but he's more like a wrestler, like WWF.
That was something that they were saying that one of his managers was a former he was heavily involved in WWE.
Yeah, so
that's why his persona comes out
because the thing about him, like he has this thing where on his YouTube channel he'll like post him and two girls, like it's like a Ric Flair type of persona where it's like very flamboyant and like he has his shirt buckled down, so you see his, you know, it's just I don't know. Kobe has a persona he's created, and it is crazy because he talks all that shit. So you assume that they're gonna be standing and banging the whole fight, but after those kicks, he just went straight to shoot. Cause
No, but even Usman said that he's known Kobe since he was in college, and he knows that he's not that. He knows who Kobe really is. He's like, he's not like this. That's all fake. Like, that's all
even
just a
Masvidal.
persona.
perdieron.
Yep, 117 and 110. So that was really the tale of the tape when it comes to that fight. But the Barbosa Mitchell fight, man, that was
I
something.
wasn't surprised about that. Mitchell, I
was-
knew Mitchell got it.
But still, that was something that we have never seen from Mitchell, for him to ground and
Oh,
pound and
yeah,
and
he made a
take that
statement
approach there.
that he's not just a quick finisher. Like, he can actually,
Nah,
take
Well,
it
most
the
of his fights are
distance.
ground and pounds though.
no, most of his
Nah.
fights are submissions.
Yeah, they're finished quick,
Yeah, but
bro.
he's hitting them like he's been like I feel like he almost makes it seem like he's gonna ground and pound you and then gets you in a position where he can pull you to then submit you. Like he has that. He's like elusive in that way. Like he's gonna, and then bam, he pulls your arm and then he's gonna put that shit out of the
in
side.
all his fights that I've seen him, he's either gone to a decision or he's submitted them. And when he gone to the
I've only
decision,
seen like 2 other fights.
I've never seen him do what he did this weekend, where
Nah.
he was ground and
He
pounding him
was making a statement.
over and over and over.
He was
again.
making a statement
Uh-huh.
that he can actually dominate inside.
Yeah.
Like, he was just showing, like, yeah, I can dominate this, and that's what he saw, man.
and to a different level, he showed it, all that stuff. So, and especially against Edson Barboza, and
That's a statement.
he left that guy leaking.
That's
too.
a gatekeeper, so.
Yeah, I mean, Edson Barboza was coming off of a couple wins himself. But, we have to see what's next for someone like a Bryce Mitchell in the featherweight division. There's a lot of talent there for him to fight. Yair Rodriguez was in his attendance. We have a lot of other people, even like who's Calvin Cater. All those type of fighters right there that can easily. He can walk. He can not. I want to say walk through, but has to face now that he's faced someone in the top 10. But Bryce Mitchell, one thing that he said out in the octagon after was that he was donating his purse to charity in
In the state where he's from.
in Kansas.
Then
or
Dana White
Arkansas.
after the fight was like, "Nah, bro, I'll donate it.
Yeah,
Keep your
so-
money."
Keep your
Yep,
money.
keep your money, which is
It's
dope
very
from,
noble of him
from Dana
after
White.
all this
Yep.
shit that you don't pay your fighters enough and all this.
And
shit.
but he was saying how he was the one coming out and saying that Dana does pay his fighters.
Well, I
At
mean,
the same time.
That's the thing that I feel like he's not saying. I don't feel like Dana doesn't pay his fighters. I feel like he doesn't pay them enough. That's the difference. That I feel like that's the convo where people are.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's for another topic.
I think they can take care of fighters a bit more. But one thing that the UFC does that people like Jorge Masvidal have taken extreme advantage of is marketing. They market the shit out of you, and it's up to you if
But
you're
you
gonna
have
take
to be.
advantage.
You
of
have
it.
to be able to.
They're your promotion.
Well, now like you have to create a persona for them to market.
Exactly what I mean. You have to take advantage of it. You have to take advantage of that marketing. And
Because
and
Kobe
Masvidal
was
did-
about to lose his, and he built his thing up, and now he has a brand. That,
It's funny. They asked Dana about that. He's like, "Oh, I didn't know anything about that," but I guess it was Sean Shelby that was gonna cut him. But the whole point is that like you have to take advantage of that platform either by just being your genuine self, like we see guys like Brandon Moreno do, like Israel Adesanya. Like he can say it's a persona, but at the end of the day, it's just really him. Who he really is.
But Kobe's not really like that.
No, not at
That's
all.
a different person.
Not
That's
at
why
all.
it's a persona for
Even
him.
like McGregor, I think he genuinely just is that person.
No, he is.
You see,
Thrash,
but that's my
yeah.
thing.
all that stuff.
I think there's a fine line between getting lost in the persona and then like
just being
Yeah.
that.
Connor was somebody and then got lost in his persona. And then it's like you keep winning, and
I
it's
think
like
Connor
Nah,
always
but
had
that's
that
always
thrashness,
that's
though.
him, though.
Yeah, because even
That's
when I
always
saw him
been
in
his
Cage Warriors,
personality.
he was he had that thrash personality and all that stuff. Yeah, and all that stuff. You know what I mean? He just took it to the next level once he really started. But it was always there
punching
for
the
him.
old man. You think he
Always-
was always there punching the old man?
I think so.
Or the alcohol and the money just gets to your head.
I think that partially.
Well, money just
he had that
exposes
threat.
who you really are. Money doesn't like really change you. It just amplifies what you really are.
I mean, I feel like that's that could be true, but I could also say that I gotta give everybody the ability to grow and mature, because not everybody
Well, obviously you're gonna grow and mature, but what I'm saying is that we're establishing that Connor, that's always been his personality.
But we don't know him personally, for one, right? Like we don't know him, so we're speculating. So that's why I can, like to
but
the
he's
public.
been always like this on and off the camera though.
Nah, before he came like before he blew up to the like after Mayweather, he wasn't punching old men in
No, he wasn't
you know what I'm
punching
saying?
women
Like,
in the face, but he still already had that thrashness about him and the call outs, all that stuff. Mystic Mac came like way back then, you know what I mean, where he was already predicting how he's gonna knock people out. You know what I mean? Like all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? And he was talking trash to all these type of fighters before he even got to the title, you know what I mean? Why do you think that first fight with Dustin went the way he went? Because I think he got the most emotions out of Dustin to then. That was the result of it. You know what I mean? That was that in a sense. That's what Conor did. You know, there's other people in the game that also have that.
but where's that all that
thrashiness and
coming?
all stuff.
Like where's all
Chael
that?
Sonnen had that stuff.
That's just his
one of the-
personality.
One of the Shamrock brothers was like that. What's that one dude? Tito Ortiz was also big mouth, talking a lot of shit.
Yeah,
type
Chuck
of stuff.
Liddell, all them. But that's what
Chuck
I'm saying.
Liddell was he.
They talk shit, bro. If you
They
watch
talk
those,
shit, but Chuck Liddell was. I mean, Ortiz was the one that was really like going in about like personal shit and whatnot. Like Liddell wasn't really doing that. Type
oh
of
no,
stuff.
for sure. But they were still talking.
It was
shit,
more
like,
Charles Sonnen that was like
Nate Diaz too in the beginning when he
Mhm.
first came in. No, and I'm not disagreeing, but I feel like there's certain people that get lost in their persona.
Yeah,
that they
and I
create.
think I don't think that Conor got lost in the persona that he created. I think it just really was the money and shit.
No, that's what I'm saying.
That
Like,
would happen to anybody with the money and all that stuff.
and like,
It's
But
just gonna
Covington
amplify your
for sure
personality.
is that person that you're talking about that got is getting lost in his
that's
shit.
where I'm
Yes,
thinking. That's
yes.
he's
That one I
starting
do
to
agree
like,
on.
you know what I mean?
Covington.
Because even
Yeah.
to call your like there's a line, but you don't call somebody's wife and their kids out. You know what I'm saying in the thing, and then that's what made me feel like, okay, is it an act? Because it could be an act, and then you're taking the act too far, to which you're not even consciously thinking no more.
What you said.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just go in, and that's when I feel like you get lost in your persona.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And that's when you start doing things that are like, bro, this is out of character already. Like this is a character you're playing, but now you're playing out of character because you're personally knowing that.
Well, he's built that habit of that persona. Eventually, he's gonna become
You're right,
that
because
persona.
like right,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying. So I think
Mhm.
Conor also kind of got lost, and then the money just came because now it's like
But with Conor, it's the money amplifies his personality. That's
he's
a
for
different
sure
thing.
an example of that might be the fact of
Yeah.
but I
But
can't
with Kobe, it's the opposite. It's the persona that he's being lost in.
because I like how like Brandon Moreno conducts themselves. I like how Kamaru Usman conducts themselves. I even like the George Masvidal. I need to break your face. Like, what was their game plan to break his face? Like that was his response in the post conference. That was a game plan,
Yeah.
but he came in there flat footed, and to be honest, I saw his game face on going into the rap match. But I'm telling you, those first few exchanges, Kobe got the better of him, and that's where he was he didn't respond well to those first few exchanges.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I mean taking it to the co-main event as well, we had RDA fighting Renato Moicano after.
Oh, dog.
After let's just follow the series of what happened with this fight. So this was
Yeah.
supposed to be a fight night about 2-3 weeks ago between Fiziev and RDA. So this was scheduled for 5 rounds. He got COVID when he came here.
RDA
It was scheduled a while back,
Mm-hmm.
and then the guy got injured. They rescheduled
It's
it.
been like
he
3-4
got COVID.
reschedules.
This was the second reschedule. So then
With the same fighter.
yeah, Fiziev. And then they needed someone to step in for this one for this weekend for RDA.
Right. This was supposed to be a catch weight, right?
It was supposed to be 155 with
No,
Fiziev.
but it became a catch weight.
It became
right?
a catch weight because someone had
Is
to
this
step
the
in.
one where Islam said that he would step in,
Yeah, he
and
would
then
step
he
in.
backed up, and
Yeah.
then Dana, I believe, said that he's not getting a title shot for saying that?
No, Dana, what he said was
Because I heard about that he said
no,
that
I
he would
heard
step
that
in.
I heard that post interview today, and he said that there was talks of Islam stepping in, but he decided not to do it, and he was like, but Moicano was always a candidate basically to step in
Mm.
for that, and Moicano before he stepped into this fight, he had just fought like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, in Texas, in the Texas card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had fought.
He won by submission against Alexander Hernandez. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that was
That's
literally-
that Chilean kid, right?
Hernandez? No, he's American.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. But he fought against him, submitted him in the second round. So he was 2 to 3 weeks off. He said he was on the beach in Brazil, relaxing with his family when he got the call for this fight. So he comes in and they do it at catch weight, which is 5 pounds above the 155 lightweight limit. So, you know, he stepped in and he showed his willingness to fight first and foremost. 3 weeks off of a fight and you're training, you know, you stop training. You're kind of in vacation mode after a win and all that stuff. So I think personally, if he gets a full training camp and all that stuff, it's a more even fight.
Oh, for sure, more even.
Because he has that.
RDA had been training and training.
But
training.
the first round wasn't bad for him.
It wasn't even last round. I know RDA was cruising and stuff like that. But just to have that heart to just throw hands still and still be getting hit, like.
I mean, dog, just to have the heart to still fight after you have a gash on your side of your head, and you have a gash on your eye.
All right, so this is a question right now. Is his corner at fault for still letting him go on through that fight?
Yeah.
You think so?
They should have thrown the towel.
For what?
What do you think, Enzo?
Yeah.
I think if the fighter wants to fight, let him fight. And that's what the dude wanted to do. He wanted to fight, bro.
Yeah, and the doctor said it. And the doctor let him fight.
Exactly.
And then what did the fucking ref told him? I'll give you 30 seconds.
And then he let him finish the round, bro. Nah, but for me, it's just.
But it's because he gave him 30 seconds. You gotta respond.
Yeah, and if you don't show it, he was gonna step in on that. Yeah. So credit to Mark Goddard because he's gotten a lot of slack for like stopping fights early before.
But then he's also kind of getting a little bit right now that I was watching a Stephen A thing where they were saying that they let the fight go too long, that he should have been RDA should have been, and then I'm like, bro, the fighter wanted to fight. Let the fight. We got a good fight out of it.
Yeah, and
for a good co-main event, that was a good fight.
I think and it was 5 rounds, and I think at the end of the day, RDA, I think he did. Would you guys say he did the right thing in that 5th round?
Of not like trying to finish him off.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was respecting him basically.
Right.
Because he saved he saved that co-main event. He saved his payday.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is that this is a bloody sport. If they stop the fight like that, you're diminishing what MMA is.
Yeah.
And the gore.
In Vegas.
And you know what I'm saying? Like
any other state, bro, that shit would have been a wrap.
Because, dog, how does Nate Diaz and George Masvidal get stopped
was in New York,
nothing, bro?
I look back at that fight,
and there was less blood than that, bro.
Way less.
So
blood.
to me, it's like, hey, bro, and I know Nate wanted to keep fighting,
and it's like,
so it's like,
I don't know if it was. Yeah, I think it was this fight, or I don't know if it was the Barbosa one because he had a nasty cut too, where like you could see the fucking like the Vaseline, that shit was just there, and it was like,
oh no, it was for this fight,
right?
too,
and it was just
thing.
it was like falling off. So
Yeah.
bro. But in any other state, that shit would have gone cut off, bro.
I mean, bro, you think they would have called it off when Joanna Jacko, what was her name? She had that big ass hematoma on her.
Yeah, the hematoma. Yeah,
bro, they should have stopped that too. That was ugly, dog. That was, but it was like, hey, and then to see her at this card, look at her looking beautiful on the sideline, like, damn, bro, that girl looked like an alien with that hematoma on the top of her head off of the elbows.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. But now after this fight, he caught out Jorge Masvidal, and he also in the post-fight interview was talking about how right now with the lightweight division how it's doing, it makes sense for him to fight Conor. What do you guys think? Who would you rather see RDA fight after you saw a performance like that? And I know you guys seen RDA fight before.
Nah, I'd rather see what you talked about, which is Conor versus Masvidal.
Which is who put that out there, bro? There was somebody.
I said it to him on Sunday.
Yeah, he told me on
Jake
Sunday.
Paul just said it on Twitter or some shit.
Yeah. Because that's a stand and bang. I'd rather see that.
That
than
would
RDA.
be a cool fight, but I'll be torn because I like both fighters. I don't know who to go with.
That's what I mean. I'm gonna go with Conor no matter what, just because
I like them both that much.
I like them both, but
even though George is not a champion, he really won me over after the Ben Askren flying knee, bro. And then after no. Let me backtrack. He won me over after he knocked out Darren Till and then gave him a 2-piece.
And he was in London.
Because I saw that interview. I remember watching that interview live, bro. And it was like he's talking to the girl. Hold up, wait.
What'd you say? You can't be just saying.
Bro,
come say to my face. Boop, 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 yep.
That shit was dope as fuck. Like that's when I looked at this dude like, this dude's gangster, bro. You just had a fight and then you just gotta go have another fight. Like I like the thug and then Conor's another type of thug. And I'm like, I would be torn to see it. But I would love to see that fight, but it'd just be like as a fan, it'd be so hard for me to go like, who am I
that's
going?
the fight to make though.
Yeah.
It is.
Over RDA.
I think they're both good fights to make.
I personally
they
think
were formally scheduled to fight.
I think RDA and Connor's a good fight to make.
Both of them.
Because they were supposed to fight too, right?
Mm-hmm, they were scheduled to fight.
So
before he fought Nate Diaz,
that was our fight.
He was lined up to fight him.
But who else was? I mean, you know who another fight that I think Nah, they can't happen because Max is not. Nah. Max Holloway.
Well, right now RDA is ranked number 6, and he's right behind Michael Chandler. That would be a dope fight to watch. RDA Michael Chandler.
Yeah, they put that instead, and then have the Conor and Masvidal. Man.
Yeah,
you know what I like.
He could also fight Tony Ferguson. He could also
Chandler
fight
and
Beneil Rouge. Chandler and Masvidal. But they're different.
Yeah, it's a different.
Really?
Yeah.
Like Chandler's in 155 and
Exactly.
Masvidal's at 170. I don't see Masvidal going down to 170. If Conor and Masvidal fight, I see Conor going to 170 to fight that.
You see, but I don't see Conor coming back down to no. He's gonna stay up there in his 170.
I think he's going to. I think he's staying at 170 as well.
I don't see him, but then I think he's too small for 170. Like he can't fight
dog.
Conor cannot beat
He's not going up to.
Okay, no.
He's not going up to Izzy,
no,
bro.
but look.
Come on,
look at everybody else in that division. Gilbert Burns, former lightweight. Leon
Hold
Edwards,
up,
former
hold up.
lightweight. Vicente Luque, former lightweight. All of these guys, former lightweights in the welterweight division.
Izzy is
Nah. Let's not talk. We're talking about welterweight.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but he's saying that
Bro,
Conor would go up, and I'm like, he's not about to go up against
No, we're
Izzy,
talking about
bro.
he's going up to welterweight, bro.
Yeah, he
to
can't.
170.
He's not gonna fight.
His last fight was at 155.
He's not fighting no fucking Kobe. Nah, I think Kobe Covington.
No, Covington,
Conor,
that's a nightmare for him, bro. I'm talking about everybody else in that division. Like, even
bro,
Wonderboy Thompson.
What the fuck?
All these other people are basically lightweights, bro. Up until Covington.
Nah, I can't. And Conor to me is too short for Stephen Thompson. So those kicks are gonna be fucking crazy. Like I would say,
Okay,
Conor.
styles make matches, and striker versus striker. Yeah, it's like a karate thing, but even Conor has that kind of stance.
Right,
I know the length
but
is there,
the length, dog.
It'd still
like,
be an entertaining fucking fight to watch.
it
though.
would, but I personally feel like, all right, let's see what's the in the 155.
155.
Who's 6 through 10?
He's number 9, and then he ahead of him he has Dan Hooker, Tony Ferguson, RDA.
Dan
Michael
Hooker would be a
Chandler.
good fight for him.
Yeah, even Tony
That
Ferguson.
length, though.
Tony Ferguson was the fight for Conor, bro.
Yeah,
Because that to me is like I was saying.
They're both coming off of losses.
Yes, bro. That's
and
the best fight.
And they have some
They have
little beef.
animosity, yeah.
Also because Tony Ferguson went to Paradigm Sports, which is the agency that Conor's under, and Tony Ferguson was also represented by them for some time, and he said that that they did him dirty and all that stuff and this and that, and then Conor rebutted him. He was like you just weren't doing what you're supposed to do as an athlete. And he was like, you wanted to go play baseball and this and that and all that shit, and I don't know. So yeah, there's no beef there. So that would be an interesting fight to make. Almost just about anybody you line up against with Conor is gonna be interesting and good.
Because he talks shit about everybody in the past.
Yeah.
So it's like,
But just stylistically, like, and just people that he has talked shit with, or who's been lined up with, like RDA, or you know, him and Masvidal have had things before.
had they?
Well, they won. This is the thing. One time they talked about it to Dana, and then Dana was like, "Oh, Masvidal's too big for Conor," and I'm like, dude, for you to say that shit, like, I feel like he's just saying that to entice Conor to be like, "Oh, okay, let's do that shit then," you know what I mean? And then Masvidal was also like, "Oh, like they don't want that. The UFC doesn't want me doing that to their boy like that." Like,
I remember
that
hearing
was
that.
that was when they were fighting Nate Diaz.
I
That was
remember
around
hearing
time.
that.
Yeah. So
That's the fight to make.
it
bro.
is a fight to make. in my
Who,
opinion.
Tony?
No,
Or
no.
Masvidal?
Masvidal,
Conor.
Conor. That for me is like on the list. Then RDA and him, and then him.
I'd
and-
much rather
I think
see-
him. I think him and Michael Chandler is even a great fight to make.
Conor
Yeah, oh
and
yeah,
Michael
I would
Chandler,
want to see that too
Mhm.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Him and Tony
But
Ferguson.
that
was
that
sad.
to me would be putting Michael Chandler. That would, like, if he wins that fight, he goes back into top 5,
I mean, he's in the top 5 right now. He's number 5.
or put Conor against Beneil Danarouche.
Dariush. I think I want to see Dariush.
That would be a respectful fight. I wouldn't think Conor would be an asshole to him.
I want to see Dariush and Makachev. They need to run that. Makachev just fought Bobby Green, someone that's where is he on the? I don't even see him on that ranking.
Wasn't
right
he supposed to fight Darush?
there. Yeah, he's supposed to fight. That's
And
what I'm
he
saying.
got the injury.
That's why I feel like they still need to run that. Like Islam, yeah, he's number 3, but you beat and you didn't even fight at the division. They had to do a catch weight for that too. So you know that's where I got with there. The next pay-per-view is gonna be the Korean Zombie versus Volkanovski, and we've already given our picks on that. What else is? I mean, we'll talk about that when we get there, though. Oh, but Cain Velasquez, y'all. We gotta talk about Cain Velasquez.
It's a cero
Damn.
tata. Hey man, honestly, if somebody touches my daughter, they getting all the smoke too.
So just to give this some context,
Natural
the guy
reaction.
got out of jail
after doing this.
After doing this, and then I guess Cain finds out about this.
The system failed Cain Velasquez because they touched
society.
Yeah, bro. It's especially Cain because it's affecting him immediately. It's like, bro, how are you gonna feel comfortable having your daughter go to this place? And it happened more than 100 times, guys.
Well, not only his daughter.
Yeah, because it was at a daycare.
Well, it was at a daycare, but this is the one that got reported. So the story goes that there's who knows who else got touched. So they don't know. This is the one that was actually reported. This is the one that got Manny incarcerated.
He was denied bail today on his attempted murder case, by the way.
Yeah. They said that they're waiting to see.
Well, it's because I heard the sheriff talk about this, and the sheriff went after the same day after he got detained and everything, and he said unfortunately Mr. Cain Velasquez tried to take matters into his own hands, and that is not it's not according to how the law.
It's because they're piling on all the things.
Bro, it's an 11-mile chase and shoot, so you're going county lines. You're like it's not a good look for bro.
Yeah,
but
they're adding up all the charges. All the charges are being
I saw Joe
up.
Rogan speak on it, and he said that he wished he would have
ran him over,
got him out, and beat him to death with his hands.
Yeah.
But then look, this is what I say about this situation. Cain Velasquez is a registered fighter. His hands are weapons.
Are deadly weapons.
He would have been fucked either way if he would have done that.
No, I don't think so because he's currently not sanctioned. He's not in the USADA pool. He's not active and all like that. The last thing he was doing was WWE, bro.
You're no.
In that aspect, you're not.
But what do you mean? You're still registered. You still
That's like saying a
once
veteran.
you register your hands, bro.
That's like,
bro.
All right.
First of all, I'm gonna ask my boxer happens. That only happens because they've asked Izzy about this on podcast recently. He's like, He's like, it's only really when you've signed up for a bout. Not even just sign up for a bout. If you're just like actively
or
fighting,
even under contract too.
Yeah, exactly. But he's not under any of that right now.
But who's to say? How do we know? How do we know he was gonna
But
make
technically,
bro?
he's been trained for
either way,
years,
bro.
though.
Either way, bro. I don't think that it makes a difference because you just fucking shot at a guy like you said for 11 miles. Like so.
That's
pulling him
no,
out of
no.
the car,
The chase was at 11 miles per hour.
No.
He was
it's
shooting
an
at him
11-mile span. It was an 11-mile radius of how long he went from. Like I said, it could have been county lines that he's crossing, and then that's other jurisdictions.
No, but
and you're probably
he's shooting at them throughout the whole time,
right?
Bro.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, so this is what happened. Cain Velasquez. I sent you guys a video. You guys watch it?
No, I didn't have.
So the dude breaks down the whole thing where he's saying that Cain Velasquez found out that the parents were picking up the guy, and he followed them from the daycare to another place. I think was another home that they were going to, and that's like 11 miles until Cain Velasquez figured I hit them. He went because the other thing is Cain Velasquez had the gun and he had another gun in the car, and he had the ammo he had, and like when he finally gets pulled over, he's showing that he had discharged the weapon already and he had reloaded. So it's like all these things are getting piled on. You're in California, bro. So it's like, but then it's like the guy that I saw the whole clip from is saying that Cain Velasquez is gonna be okay in jail or in prison wherever he ends up because of the noble act of the crime, the fact that you're defending your family. But the aggressor or the guy that was the victim in this case is gonna have a hard time because he raped a child. So child molesters have very hard times in jail and prison. So
yeah, they try to put them in separate divisions,
right? So it's just like
so that they don't get hurt.
Man, the thing that sucks is that they're trying to build GoFundMe's for Cain Velasquez, but they have to make it under another pretense because you can't build GoFundMe pages for legal fees.
Wow.
So it's like, it kind of sucks that Cain Velasquez was a former UFC champion and now he needs a GoFundMe page and they have to do it under another thing so that, they don't. Sucks.
Well, free Cain, man. This is
for real,
tough,
man. Free Cain Velasquez, bro.
And like a lot of people have said, a lot of people say that this was them, they do it. Well, it happened to Cain and he did it.
He actually did it.
Like, and not to like put him down, but it's like, yo, you're like you say, you're protecting your family and you can only imagine the rages of emotions, like you said, as a father, which you are, Enzo.
Bro, but he said 100 times is a report, bro. I would have done the same. I'm telling you, and I know that the repercussions might have been, but I would have caught a flight and gone somewhere else. I'm not getting pulled over, so it probably would have been worse for me. But it's like I'm not trying to get locked up. I still had to, I don't know. It just sucks. You putting your back against the wall when somebody touches your child. What would you do, Manny?
it's an emotional reaction, bro, and I understand it completely.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
bro,
understand it
like
completely. Yeah. Any reasonable father would react that way. No reasonable father would not want to do something. You know, in other countries, that dude would have just been dead, and that's it.
right.
Like there would be no justice system, no nothing. It's matters in your own hands. But we have a justice system, so you know.
Right, and he taking matters into his own hands, and that's why the justice system now
Yeah.
is gonna land on him rather than
Mhm.
landing on the guy that raped or
Well,
assaulted.
that's why the
family
one
member.
that molested his child is out free right now.
Because they paid the $50,000 bail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now Cain got denied bail. But anywho, moving on to another kind of sad point in our lives right now is Laker fans. Lakers can't get out of 9th or 10th place right now. Seems they can't get a winning streak going.
They lost to the Clippers.
They can't. They just lost to the Spurs today.
They beat the Warriors.
They beat the Warriors.
But it took LeBron 56 points to.
No. It took LeBron sacrificing his entire body because he's not there today because of a knee issue. So
Lakers are currently 9th.
They can't get out 9th.
So they're in the
28.
play-in tournament
They're
right
28 and 35.
36.
So what is that? How many games behind the first?
Fuck. No, it doesn't matter behind the first.
No, well, that's just how many games behind the first.
23 games behind the first, but
So
there are
if-
5 games behind the next.
If
the
they
next
are,
seed.
if they even are thinking about the play-in, they're gonna end up facing one of the either first or second, right? And
mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. The Lakers.
A healthy AD and LeBron.
No, and that's one thing that I was gonna say earlier when we were off air. We were talking about it, and like a healthy LeBron and AD, anybody in the NBA is trouble.
And I think right now, I don't think necessarily that like they win the first round or they win the championship, but they make the Suns work for it for sure, And if they're able to get past the Suns or the Warriors or whatever, it's a miracle of the Lord Jesus Christ, and he's probably a Laker fan that season, who knows, but.
But I mean, the Lakers. I feel like the Lakers under Jerry West,
I'm
like
just asking,
that era.
I'm just asking the Lord to bless the team with. I'm not saying that anything.
If the Lord is a Laker fan
this season.
Blasphemy.
How's that blasphemy, bro?
Continue.
The Lord just can't be a fan of his children, bro. What you talking about, bro? He has children on the Lakers, bro.
It's blasphemous, bro.
Bro,
If Jesus and Bill Cosby can't be in the same sentence, this is
anyhow, the Lakers acquired a couple of some players that they. Do you think they're gonna make a difference, guys?
Not really.
DJ Augustine.
Nah.
They should have kept Isaiah Thomas if they got DJ Augustine. To me, in my opinion,
there is one player right now that I forget his name.
Jamal Crawford.
Nah, he
just came out, tweeted something about that he'll do whatever they need him to do.
He scored 100 points in 2 games in the G League, and he got picked up by the Nets, I think, or something like that. I forget
the Hornets.
What you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
no.
I'm not saying to pick him up. I'm just saying there's a lot of players that have been getting picked up.
I feel like the Lakers need to bring up their other white boy that they drafted this year, McClung.
Didn't they let him go?
No, he's on the G League, the Lakers G League.
The South Bay Lakers.
He just got called up to play for the Bulls for a little bit when they were going through the whole injury thing. But it was just a 10-day contract. Went back to the G League.
Yep, and the Heat are in first place right now in the East.
They're 44 and 22.
With the 76ers right behind them. The Nets just lost to the Celtics this past weekend.
So the Nets are in the same situation as the Lakers in 9th seed.
9th, 32 and 33.
Yeah, but the Nets are more stacked now. I think you get out of that.
I don't even think
Ben
Simmons doesn't even play that.
Nah, check this out.
Once,
they're
KD,
not. Look,
once KD comes back,
you're tripping, bro. They're not. KD's already back, but he's not 100. Like he's another injury-prone player, so that's why.
And then Kyrie on the road, so.
But that's what I'm
Ben
saying.
Simmons isn't even playing.
He hasn't played a game yet, and he's not going to play against the Philly game either. So, because he has back problems. This thing with them is also looking bad too, because Kyrie, you only get him 50% of the games, and there's no telling that you're going to get KD the whole rest of the season. Like, this guy gets an ankle injury, he gets hurt, or like it's always something, or his knee or something.
He's kind of like getting the AD effect in a sense.
Yeah, but not that bad.
But he went through a major injury
that
and
makes
ever
him
since
that bad. Ever since then, it's been like, now he's dealing with this. Now
thank God, at least AD hasn't gone through something like that yet.
But that's what I'm saying.
But
The type of ankle injury that he got it weakens your tendon, your Achilles tendon.
He's a walking 35, bro. Walking 50, bro. on any given night.
Who is? KD, no doubt. But it's also like if you're not healthy, you can't do
this
that.
guy's saying AD. I'm like,
AD can too, but
Bro,
he can't
they're
stay
on the
healthy.
Same kind of body type, same kind of movements they're trying to be making. It's gonna catch up to you,
I think KD plays way more as a guard.
Way
though.
more,
Yeah.
way more. But after that injury,
if I could choose between
levels the
KD
playing
and
field.
AD,
For
bro,
sure.
KD, bro.
anytime, Manny, I'm not disagreeing with you. What
But
I'm
it's just
trying to say
crazy.
is
They're
that
both in 9th seed though, so
Yes,
it's like
they
the
are.
both teams that they
Mhm.
were expected to be in the NBA Finals this year. They were the so-called favorites.
But according to Maury, if God creates a miracle, they could face each other, right?
I didn't say that.
Not each other. He said the Lakers were making the finals.
Yeah, I didn't say. I don't know. I'm not putting any favor on the Nets at all. They can figure it out on their own.
They could eat a dick. They could sobar los huevos.
Something like that. Something like that.
Son sobar huevos allá en los Nets.
Something like that.
And,
Well, yeah.
and then, did you guys hear about Joel Embiid saying that he's never gotten passes the way that Harden is setting them up?
I can see that.
That he's never been as open the way that Harden is setting them up. So it seems like they're having decent chemistry.
No,
Well, it's
they
because
definitely are.
it's James Harden makes a game. It opens up because
And he's never played with a big man like that.
true, but if it's like if he has the ball, bro, he either is gonna drive and score for himself or look for you, right? So they got him. They has Danny Green as a shooter. They had Seth Curry. Oh no, they traded Seth Curry.
Yeah,
but
Seth
they got
Curry's-
what's that dude Harris?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
Tobias Harris?
they got shooters where it's like, bro, he could do damage. So
Nice one, Byron. But yeah, that's the NBA for right now. What if it's the Miami versus the Suns? Or do you think it'll be a repeat of last year?
Giannis, you can't put that Giannis man down. In the NBA, I think in the playoffs he's a different animal.
He's a bad man.
He's a different animal, same beast.
Yeah, but that team is a little different.
It is, yes, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
How different? What they do? They still got the core
Yeah,
that
for
won them the
most part.
championship.
Bobby Portis is
But
still there.
one of the biggest things was PJ Tucker,
Yeah, I would have to
They
say
don't have
PG
him
Tucker
anymore.
Is a big piece for them.
and he's
I
in the
think
Miami Heat now.
I think they made a trade.
He's in the Heat now.
Yeah, but I think they made a trade that put him. That gave him a good little. Look at the Bucks roster. They made a trade in the
Nah, you got to go back to the
just
loop.
put their roster.
Go back. Back to the loop, sir. There you go.
They have dirty ass Grayson Allen.
Yeah, that was a good pickup. He has a good field goal percentage.
George Hill.
Yeah, they brought, I think.
But he's been there already. I think 2 years, second time. Who else they got?
Yeah, Drew Holiday's still there.
Yeah,
Yeah, still got the core. Still got the same core.
Yeah,
The only guy
Wesley
that they let
Matthews
go
back.
was DiVincenzo. Basically got traded for Grayson Allen.
I think Wesley Matthews is back there too. Serge Ibaka's there. Drew
Yeah, bro.
Holiday.
Look, they
Yeah, they have
Drew
their core.
Holiday was there with
Yeah,
the
that's what I'm saying.
championship.
They have their
Serge
core.
Ibaka's a good pickup for the coming off the bench. Nah, bro, they're still the team in the East that can knock out the Heat if they play in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Man, I think the Heat just got Victor Oladipo back too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see how
Yep.
they play together.
Well, they're first in the East, like we're saying right now. But now going on to football.
Damn. Okay, can I tell you guys about what happened in versus Alas y Querétaro?
Sure, you could tell us about how those people died and how they might pull them out of the
But
tournament.
before,
Go ahead.
but before you do that,
crazy,
before you
dog.
do that,
What happened?
Byron, tell me who's the best team in the world.
Arriba las Chivas.
All right, there we go.
Bro, what do you think sparked that, Manny? Because
Who's to
Boca Juniors, River Plate, there's been riots in Argentina and stuff like that.
But they
What
have cages, though.
Right, and they had a cage here too. They had cages that you haven't seen the video, bro, where they're like separated. Bro, there's a video where they're separated, and then somebody comes behind and then just has a chair and just hits the Alas player, and it was the guys from Querétaro that had gone around the cage and
Yep.
hit him. And then I was talking to one of the soccer.
No, but over there, like when you go
Oh,
to
it's different
Boca
because
Juniors,
that shit is a whole different like
when
rivalry.
you go to Boca Juniors, there is no away fans, sir, allowed in the Boca Juniors
stadium at all.
It's only Boca Juniors. Yeah. Same thing if you go to River. If you go to River, it's just River fans, bro.
That's a whack ass game though. I mean, but this just crazy how like 20. I think they said 20 people dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Reportedly.
You reported. Yeah.
And then it's like, so this is the look. You're watching right here. Watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
but
you should
where's
have put it on this
security?
one, Mauricio. What happened to this right here?
It's all good. Don't worry about that one right now.
No security, bro. And they even go on the field.
No, they got
too.
the security, but they didn't even do anything.
They
like,
even go on the
They don't have
field.
enough security.
Like, see, then they go on the field.
Bro, there was women and children in this field, bro.
Mhm.
Children and women.
And they go on the field.
So many women and children, bro. But it's just sad. Look at this, bro. Like, where's the cartel to stop this?
Yeah,
Yep.
Nah, but it's
So-
just a tragic thing, bro. Soccer shouldn't be about violence. Shouldn't be about, demonstrating your
Hey,
aggression
bro.
in this
I
way,
mean,
bro.
if your team is losing, you get emotional,
Well,
bro.
this thing was more about, you know what this, you
it's
know,
for a copa.
no, bro, this is not for a copa. This is for the motion. Whoever, they're both at the bottom of the ranking.
Regulation.
It's
regulation is what you're saying.
No, they're gonna
That's what
get.
it's called.
Yeah, that they're gonna.
What
get
you're
regulated.
saying is regulation. That's what it's
Yeah,
called in
that's
soccer.
The term. That's the term.
Was
it's
it?
talking
Was it?
about.
What does that refer to?
That means that
They
the
get-
team that loses goes down to second division.
Right.
You get
So they're-
regulated.
They're fighting for that. Like,
Regulator.
who's
To stays in first league.
right as a team? But to me,
Mona.
it's like, if that's the fact,
It was the
why
cold
is the
black night.
public reacting in this manner to be like, I have to go out and kill the other team's fans? Like, this
No
is
one wants to be in
ridiculous.
second division.
Nah, bro, it's not. It's like, look, watch, push that guy right there. Down. I was watching this last night, and we get a reason of why it happened. Put him up. He asked this guy, what's going on, and he says in other soccer stadiums we see a lot of security, but in this one we don't. A lot of nervous kids and women crying.
He took off his chin diaper.
Damn, look, the soccer players right there, like trying to calm everybody down. Why are you trying to pick this fool up? They're about to talk to somebody right now, watch. He's going to pull somebody with no shirt on.
Just fast forward to that.
Yeah.
I left for it.
That guy's telling him to get out of the la cancha.
When did you ever talk to somebody?
No, go in the middle. I think it's towards, like, go right there. Go back a little more further back. Right here. Look, go back a little bit more. Go back a little bit more. See, they were talking about somebody's family or some shit.
El Atlas.
Because they're in Querétaro right there.
Mhm.
This shit's crazy, bro. 20 people,
Yeah,
bro.
it's
20
just-
people that went to go watch a soccer game and didn't come back home. Unexpectedly, didn't think that.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? That's tragic, bro.
Soccer in other countries.
That's like
is
us
wild,
saying,
bro.
like, yeah, bro. It's like us saying we're going to a Lakers game and then I'm going to kill a Celtic fan because he's at the set low. Like,
nah,
what, bro?
The rivalry isn't that deep.
Bro, but, like, I've gone to a Celtic Laker game and
Hey, bro. In Boston, it was.
it was
fucking
that
bro.
deep back then, but not no more.
They were racist against their own fucking players, bro.
Back then.
That was back
That's
then.
the 80s, though.
That's
Bro.
not right now.
Nah, bro. There's players that say they still go to Boston and still get that treatment.
That's true.
Then why is what's his name? The guy that was a point guard for us even playing for them?
Which guy?
Rajon Rondo?
No.
Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah.
A lot of people who go to Boston say they get that from fans and people around the city of Boston still.
I haven't heard any news on that guy getting some treatment.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you just did. You go look at what they did to Kyrie Irving. He just played in Boston 2 days ago on Sunday, matter of fact.
Nah, but that's because he played there and he left them.
But you still getting treatment. Look at the treatment he's getting.
We're talking about being a Laker and then going there, the rivalry.
For sure, but like
I'm not talking about just being a Laker. I'm talking about being black. And
Like
going to
right,
Boston, and
exactly.
being
Like
a black player and all that stuff.
Now we're going towards race.
No, I
That's
mean,
what I'm
could-
talking about, though, bro. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about that. I'm not talking about just being a Laker. Like, and that's why I even said they're racist against their own players, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I'm
But
talking
the
about.
conversation began with
It was
us-
rivalry. It was
rivalry.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, but that's when I even mentioned that Boston, like over there,
It could
it's
be
like
rivalry,
that.
but they
here,
still-
here in LA, like,
It's like-
yeah, the rivalry was more about the game, but over there, like it was being taken to another level.
I mean, even I hear like they take like the 76ers fans take it to another level.
Oh hell yeah!
And that's why
But
Ben
I wouldn't say
Simmons
I wouldn't
doesn't
say
want-
that
they
it's
didn't
that
wanna-
it's
doesn't
that
want to
it's-
play going.
But I
him-
wouldn't say that it was necessarily racist. Philly's just a tough ass city. to
No,
play,
right.
regardless.
And
of
like
the
your fans are
score.
gonna be talking shit,
Yeah.
just like how like the Laker fans are talking shit to the fans. The Laker fans talking shit to the players.
Now we
in
talk
the
shit to
70s.
Clipper fans. Laker fans go to Clippers games and talk shit at Clippers.
For sure, but it's like we saw a video of last week when the Lakers lost to the Pelicans and they were going back and forth with the fans.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it happens more like in the 76ers
Well,
arena.
the crowd has turned on the Lakers. You,
yeah,
you
we
can't give
definitely.
us.
Yeah, they lost the crowd already. They
yeah,
lost the
because
audience.
it's like you gave us a trophy. And
Oh
then you
look,
give
watch,
us
look
this.
what they did to Kyrie, bro. It's just you got the video or not?
I'm trying to see if they got it.
They booed his girlfriend.
Bro, no, they booed. They were like, Kyrie sucks.
I hear it.
Jason
But
Tatum. was
that-
even
they're
like
trying to-
Jason Tatum was like, come on, like shut up, like kind of get him to. He dropped 54 on him though. He's just laughing like. That sucks, bro. As a player that you tried to go to Boston and do some, but it didn't work out. But then for them to do you like that, like.
be like that. But yeah, that's just this example.
fútbol.
In there.
Lo que pasó ahí fue una tragedia.
Tragedia.
¿Qué
for
vas a
sure.
hacer? ¿Qué vas a hacer lo demás de fútbol? ¿Qué pasó?
Who won the Manchester name? this weekend?
Cuéntame.
Well,
Who got the bragging rights?
El
Manchester
piso es
City.
tuyo.
They did.
Manchester's blue.
Really,
4-1.
bro. I thought you were all like hype when we were watching.
I just got hyped because they scored one goal and it was 1-1. And then after that, they scored 3. And I was just
Like
like,
your hypeness got
Fook.
weird away.
yeah. It went to
It
sadness.
was kind of how you were after you saw George didn't have no more volume.
Exactly,
You're
bro.
like,
I
oh.
just got turned off. I was like,
Yeah, no, you were shopping after.
no energy.
Se le fue.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know, man.
Yo, those are fighting
The
words.
fact that this guy didn't take Ronaldo, I was kind of questionable. Doesn't put him on the squad, doesn't put him as a sub or anything. That's questionable. He puts players in a play that haven't played in a long time and that are not in form and expect them to do miracles. I don't know what this coach is thinking. But I also understand that the dressing room doesn't respect him because he's only going to be there till the end of this season and they're getting another manager. So
What about the players? Do the players respect him?
I don't think the players respect him at all.
Oh,
I
'cause
don't
you said
think
the
he-
dressing room. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, what I mean by the dressing room, I mean there's the players.
Oh, I thought that like
Yeah.
the power would go off when he walked in or some shit.
No.
Come on, bro.
This
Fuck around.
was trying to be a smart ass.
Smart ass.
But hey, Liverpool have a chance. They're only 6 points away from first place. So they could take over and win the league. We'll see what ends up happening there. Real Madrid right now is leading the Spanish league. They have a good leadage pointage. But on other notes that are positive,
Pause.
Barcelona in the league has gone 11 games undefeated since Xavi took over. So that's looking like a positive for them and the way that they're evolving. Bayern Munich is leading right now for the German league. And then the Serie A, it's still a very close race. We'll see who actually ends up winning that between Napoli, Inter Milan, and AC Milan. So, yeah, that's it for today, guys. Have a good one.